What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I almost said Saturday. Wow. It's not. It's not Saturday yet. I get my days mixed up. My streams are all like sometimes. But it's Friday, October 30th. It's almost Halloween. And we are playing Empire of the Ghouls, a Midgard campaign setting, a 5th edition rule set. And tonight, for the next 3 hours, Matakuri is going to take us away to that world. Take it away, Matt.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the stream. So today we are on session 3 of Empire of the Ghouls. And as always, we're using Fantasy Grounds Unity, sounds by Sirenscape. And a little bit of a recap. Last time you guys started off in the warehouse and found some odd things relating to behaviors and treatment of kobolds in the city. And you found one of the ladies that you killed who was wearing this amulet of one of the dark gods. After dealing with that, getting paid, spending some time around the city in the Clockwork Festival, you met up with a kobold in the kobold ghetto named Skirtle. And he offered you free food and a pallet on the floor to sleep in if you need it. Um, and he's asked you to guard his nephew, whose name is Brick. And so for the next few days, you guys have agreed to guard Brick and provide a little bit of protection for him as he goes about his day, because Brick has been accused of kidnapping or attacking uh, one of the local blacksmith's daughter. And she disappeared, and the only evidence at the scene of the crime was a dagger that Brick owned. It was a kind of a unique dagger that belonged to Brick. And they knew it was his because that blacksmith was the one who had done repairs on it recently. Um, so, in the course of helping Brick out, you went around, um, did a few little odd jobs. You did some rat catching in the cartways and was trying to pick up some extra food for the restaurant, the Rampant Roach. And then you ended up exploring a little bit more, came across a room that had a dead body and large piles of alchemical equipment. Underneath one of the bodies, a hand crawled out and began attacking you. And when you got closer to the desks, hands jumped off the desks and started attacking you there. So that's where we left off. You guys are there in the cartways, trying to fend off these gorlings as they try to eat you like they ate that guy sitting on the floor there. And also, one more thing as a reminder, the way we do inspiration for this game is y'all start off every session with 1 point of inspiration. So you should all have one. And there's no point in saving it because it doesn't accumulate. So, you know, make sure you spend it during the session or you end up losing it.
Use it or lose it, losers.
Can we give it to
Exactly.
someone else?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, you can use it
Allow
to
someone
help
else to
somebody.
use it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they do a
Um,
good job role playing, bitches.
right. And let's do just a real brief character introduction. We're not going to do these every session, but since we're only on session 3, let's go in reverse order from what we normally do. So we'll start off with the unnamed. Just a little bit about your character.
So the unnamed grew up in the temple as the divining spirit there, able to talk to the deity himself, herself, depending on where he was. So he's now out adventuring and sort of trying to get used to the fact that nobody cooks for him or cleans for him, or this is the first time he's actually worn dirty clothes. or worn clothes twice, 2 days in a row. So he's trying to adjust.
All right.
Well, they don't have a
Tyrion.
history. You can wash them.
Totally new concept.
So I'm Tyrion. I'm a halfling barbarian, and I am from out in the country, and I do not know the city very well at all, but I've come to try to build some skill in battle so I can be available to help out my halfling family. And so I'm working on filling my chest with tattoos as I gain skills in battle.
All right. Thank you. Quint.
Hey, I'm Drake. I will be playing Quint, the Shadow Fae rogue. He is a Krakovan rebel who escaped the capital with the Queen of Krakovian not far ahead of him as the rest of everyone got killed. and and for obvious reasons, he got as far away as he could, and now after a month or so, he is starting to think how he can start to help his employ his parents employ the Krakowian royalty to gain back their status. So, but he's a little far from that at the moment, dealing with some sewers and kobolds and dungeons and stuff. That was
And
it.
for the stream, if you're not familiar with the Midgard campaign setting, Cracovia, where Quint is from, was the country was recently overrun. It was about 10 years ago, and overthrown by the Kingdom of Mordau, or the Greater Duchy of Morgau, which is a country ruled by vampires and undead. All right, Dick Pick.
Dick Pick is a Ratfolk ranger who is an obnoxious hanger-on, and I thought I'd be dead by now.
All right, Blink.
Blink is a kobold artificer. He's pretty smart, and not just for kobold smart, but like actually intelligent. And he's here because he's found some other kobolds in need. So he's trying to help them out.
All right, very good. So when we left off, you guys were in the cartways, and Quint, you are up.
So, as a reminder, and I think I got to sneeze right in the middle of this thought. So, as a thought, this you said, I think if I remember correctly last time, that this jar, the lid was still on it and the hand hadn't
Correct.
escaped. But there are two on the ground, correct? There's
Right.
22 and five
There
fingered
is a
hand.
one there and one there. Those are small little hands. They're tiny in size on the ground, and they're trying to jump up and bite you and eat you. There is a jar where you can see another one of those hand creatures inside it, but it's still closed. It is rocking though, as the hand is jumping against the side as hard as it can. And then there's a table. There's two tables with chemical equipment, but there's this table right here, which has a larger jar underneath it that has it's a ceramic jar with a sealed lid.
And it's not jumping up and down, correct?
It's not jumping up and down.
Okay. Okay.
It's under the table, but it's not
All
not
right, so
jumping up
I'm
and
gonna
down.
scooch the chair just so it doesn't, get knocked. Keep the jar safe, like protect it with a chair. And then I think Quint's gonna take a shot at number 22 with his bow. Did I yeah. Like with his bow. With disadvantage because something I forget. But it still hit. Sneak attack.
All right. Yes, you did.
Is it gonna do? It probably should do sneak attack regularly, right?
Should do it automatically if you have the on
No,
turn.
it didn't. But I killed it anyways. And I think I will finish my move, making
It
sure that.
didn't because you had disadvantage for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't know
well,
why.
I have disadvantage in 9 more turns, so I don't remember. I got hit by
Oh, I
something.
do.
I got hit
Yeah,
by something.
the rotten gorling, the one that was underneath the body, extruded a stench into the area, and it affected
Oh, he's nauseous. He's like,
some
oh.
of you. Yeah,
He's like, oh,
he's
oh.
this.
He keeps throwing up in his mouth, trying to shoot shit. I'm weak.
All right, so you managed to shoot that gorling. He's dead, pinned to the ground there, with arrow right through his palm. All right, so now Mr. Four-Fingered Hand Gorling. Um, he was targeting Blink, and he's going to continue to try and jump up and eat Blink. And so he jumps up and misses you. Kind of lands just a little bit over to the side, but still in the same spot, right kind of down near your ankles as he's trying to gnaw on your ankles.
Looks like I get to hit him back. So I'm going to use, I'll put it here in the chat. I'm going to use Blindsider on this guy because I have an ally within 5 feet of him.
Very good.
So that'll give me advantage on my attack roll. And I'm going to try to shocking grasp this guy.
Okay.
Not bad. And he can now not take reactions because of shocking grasp. So I would like to move back. Tokens aren't locked. I don't know if
Oh,
you. I'm
okay.
only going to move 10, so it shouldn't matter for movements anyway. So I'm just going to move back to there, so I'm not adjacent to that guy anymore, and be done.
All right.
What is the floor made of? Is it stone or dirt?
It is worked stone. Yes. This was part of a mining area, and this particular area was improved. This guy's turned it into a workshop, and he's got stone on the floor.
So, am I able to find like a crevice or something that I would be able to pin this thing in?
Well,
Sure.
you know,
There's a number of cracks.
Dick Pick's leaning over. There's definitely a big one right there. It's a nice crevice. I'm not sure I like the way that
Okay, I need to
gets
make my.
lighter down there, or darker rather.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like that.
Oh, I had to make the attack roll first. Sorry, I have it coded weird. 1 second. So let me see if I attack. If it works. If I hit, I do not.
All
Wow.
right. No effects because we're not using Drake's
I
random
think
fumble
effects should
tables.
be player optional. You can come up with some shit if you want. Right.
Right.
So I fling my shuriken again. You're not really sure where it's coming from. They're not visible, and it gets caught up in Dick Pick's cloak.
Crack. I thought you were gonna say crack. Falls down at his crack. He's got to dig it out. It was a French fry under the car seat.
All right, Tarian.
All right, I'm going to go after this Gorling.
You are still enraged.
It's a mad little person right there. Ooh.
I whack at it with my battle axe
Okay.
and just like chop it in half, and their fingers, split. Blood spurts out.
All right. You go ahead
And
and chop it right in half. So there's now a hand that has 2 fingers on each side because it had 4 originally. So you got now little two-fingered hands laying on the ground. They're twitching, but they're not moving beyond that.
uh, and then can I come over to this guy that's still in the glass jar and just try to stabilize it so it can't get knock itself over?
Sure. You can get over there and then just trying to put a hand on it.
Yeah.
Close the door.
No, I'm done.
I'm gonna go over there and try to keep that jar closed too.
Okay.
Carefully.
He's like, I'll hold the barrel.
All
She
I mean,
right.
probably
they're
needs to jump up on my
are,
shoulder so we
are
can
they
we
both
can
only
stabilize it
like
together.
3 feet tall? I mean,
That's
the
not
barrel.
that tall of a barrel. It's not. It's
Well,
not a
barrel's
huge
probably
barrel.
3 feet tall, right?
Yeah,
It's
3 feet. This little jar with a
like
hand in it on the
it's
top
like
of it.
reaching
My
up
back.
like this, right?
Yeah, with his help, I don't have to
I
be like
can't reach
tiptoes.
the lid. Can't get the lid.
Climb up on my shoulders. All right,
How
so you've
come
got it stabilized.
Brick doesn't show a
Brick
token for
is.
me in the combat tracker? Is anybody else missing the token, or is it just me?
He's right there.
Yeah, I don't see the token.
On
I
the
think I'm
combat
just out
tracker?
of view from him.
On the
I don't
combat
even.
tracker, you don't?
Yeah, I don't see it on the combat tracker.
I don't see. His token on the map to me looks like a red question mark.
I think your
Weird.
image link got unlinked.
Yeah.
Got unlinked somehow. I
Weird.
have been noticed there's a couple of link issues.
Yeah. Try
Like I'll make a
relinking it.
link and I know I had it right, and I'll come back and it won't be the right link. I'm like, what the hell?
Weird. Well, anyway, Brick is going to be back there, and you're going to skip his turn. So this thing in
Tooth-studded
the
tongue.
jar,
He's got a thing through his tongue, but it's a tooth. Oh, that's
he's out of his palm. There's a little tongue sticking out, and he's got a little stud piercing right through the. And he's jumping up against the glass and fighting his way in, but he can't get the lid open. And since you guys stabilized it, he can't knock it over to break the glass. So we're kind of out of combat. What do you guys want to do?
I'm thinking of whose family could I ship that jar off to?
I'm going to come over and look at the stuff on the table here, the chemical.
Okay.
Yeah, and the scrolls and books and stuff.
You barely can stand. Let me help you there. The unnamed. I kind
Blink
of
is. Oh, go ahead.
put a bandage on his wounds, like a rag, probably, since I'm not trained in any kind of form whatsoever of medical help.
Stuff a rag in it. That'll help.
It's just got some green gook on it.
Blink is also interested in these alchemical supplies on these tables, so he wants to check those out, see if there's anything that he can, pick up to piece together some alchemist tools.
Okay. So as you guys are looking around the tables and here on the desks and whatnot, you find a number of things of interest. So I'm going to go ahead and add them to the party sheet.
Party sheet, party sheet. Pa, 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 pa.
That should have added them to the party sheet.
Ah, chunks of dried meat. Yummy. Potion of healing. A spell book. Ooh, look at them spells.
Yeah, you find a spell
Ooh.
book And is anybody taking that spell book or looking through it? There's a number of stuff there.
It would
There's
not
a set
probably
of
be the rogue.
alchemist supplies that you can piece together based on all of the various equipment that's here in the room, as well as a couple of vials of acid and some alchemist fire.
I would
Alchemist
definitely like those alchemist supplies unless anybody else wants them.
I have no
Go for
need
it.
of loud, noisy trinkets.
Ooh, that was kind of condescending.
I pat Dick Pick on the head and say, "It's okay, Dick Pick. He didn't mean it."
All right. Was anybody looking at the body or just the tables?
Yeah, I'd like to check out the body.
Yeah, I'm on jar duty.
Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't leave. One of us might destabilize it.
Is there any duct tape in here? Wait, you just tape this lid closed.
Maybe
Can we
some
just turn it
twine
upside
you
down?
could try. The main danger is it tipping over and shattering.
Can we put it in the barrel?
Unscrew that. You can certainly try and open the barrel and stick it in there. Yeah.
Well, they're monkeying around with that one. What's up with this one? I'm gonna like get down there and scooch it out from underneath there and start examining it. You said the lid is
Okay.
sealed?
Yes, it's a ceramic jar. There is a sealed lid. I mean, you do think you could open it. It's not like chained down or anything like that, but it does have like a seal around the lid. And
Like a
as you,
wax seal.
yeah, it's like the wax is holding a ceramic seal on top, right? As you monkey the thing around and move it over just a little bit to get a better look at it, you do hear what sounds like liquid sloshing inside.
So it's kind of heavy then,
It's
like a
it's
5-gallon
heavy.
jug of water.
Yeah. It and the sound that it makes is it's like a very viscous liquid. It's a very thick, heavy sloshing, as opposed to watery.
I think it's full of maple syrup. Is there any writing on the jar or anything? Do we have a light
There
source?
is not.
Is there a light? Do we have a light source in here?
Tyrion's axe is still glowing.
So I kind of move so I can get better light on it. There's nothing. There's no writing on it, huh?
With the little light, you notice that not only is the jar the lid held on by like a layer of wax, but just beneath that layer of wax, a little difficult to see, it looks like there's some thin wires that are making like a light cage holding the jar lid down, and then it was waxed over.
It's like a champagne bottle. He's got a little twisty thing on it.
Kind of, yeah.
Pop! Surprise! It's a head in a jar. Rawr, 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 rawr.
I want to drop it off a building.
That's that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I sense a trap on this. That's all I say, and I push it back like even further under the table, like. And then I'll
You can
step
search
back.
for traps. You are a rogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm examining. Doing the whichever you want, investigation.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Here, I'll roll it out and we'll see. I said, I told you it's trapped.
Yeah,
You totally don't think he thinks it's
have
trapped,
no
but
clue.
he is still adamant that it's trapped. He's like, it's trapped.
Everybody stand back.
It's a jar. It's got a head in it or something. And he moves away. He's gonna go look at this body too. So yeah, what kind of weapons does he have? Does he have a longbow? A good one?
No. So the only things that you see on him, his body looks like it's partially eaten. The Gorling had been gnawing on it and eating away bits and bits and bits. But as you search over the body, you find three things. You find a key, you find a silvered dagger, and you find a note that he is carrying. That should have gone to the party sheet.
There's an odd piece of parchment here. It says, A module you're attempting to use is not loaded.
So let me share that with you. So this is the note that you find on the body.
It says Bartleby. I'm assuming it's in common, correct?
Yes, this is in common.
This place was well worth the gold it cost to renovate. The lycanthropes north of here are resourceful lads and have already brought me subterranean regions, components it would take me months to find on the surface. I have a good feeling about this grimy little workshop, despite the foul odors of the neighboring burrows and the ranting of those madcap goblins. I have noticed unsavory activity in the warrens east of here. Hooded fellows who steal about in odd hours of the night, and I fear other monstrosities have taken up residence in the tunnels nearby. Send your best man at once to dispatch some old hometown justice. My coin is good. Grantham, with a G.
Do any of us recognize that name?
No. None of you have ever heard of Grantham.
I once knew a Bartleby, but he was a canine and he could not write.
Yeah, Brick knew Grantham. Grantham was the name of the alchemist who's dead. So Brick knew who that was. That was who he was going to come and pick up some supplies from later.
So the body is Grantham that we got the note from?
Yes.
So he was sending this note to somebody, and it doesn't look like it's been mailed. There's no
Hasn't been delivered.
Stamp on it. Huh.
Return to sender.
Perhaps we can get some coin if we deliver this note.
It does seem a little late for the help he was asking for.
Suppose you're right. He tucks it in his pocket.
All right. Anybody taking anything?
Yeah, let's disperse all this loot stuff. Who wants to deal with some acid? Who's good with splashing stuff?
Blink
Range.
said he already wanted the acid in the alchemist fire.
No, I grabbed the alchemist supplies. So like the tool. But the other stuff, yeah, that's up for grabs.
I'll tell you what, I would like one vial of the acid. And then
We'll split it.
There's two of them there, so. And then who's good and likes to throw stuff like alchemist fire? The rogue is good at it, but he's better. He can't sneak attack with alchemist fire, or can you? It is a ranged weapon.
I mean, I can throw far if no one else wants it.
A little concerned about the raging barbarian running around with alchemist fire on. Smashing
Use
his
it as a melee
backpack.
weapon.
I mean, it's just thinking he's typically in a bad mood to begin with.
No, he's typically very happy.
He's not. He has to work up to.
Oh, that's right.
To insult him. Are we finished playing around? Can we, now that we have his rats, are we going back up, or are we going to continue this fruitless search?
We were looking for fruit?
If we are staying, then I need the healing potion. Otherwise,
we have the key to the door.
I fear I will not last another encounter.
Do we have any hit die left?
I could.
Yeah, well, let's take a short rest.
I have a spell slot. I can
save that potion. Take a short rest.
Yeah, Tyrion's good with taking a rest. He can start working on his tattoos.
I'll take the key to the door and lock it.
Let's see. Who's taking that alchemist fire? I'm going to take the note and put it on my character. Chunks of dried meat. Hell, I am not carrying that. What's a crystal ball? That looks kind of cool. It's worth 2 gold.
That was something you found in the goblins. The Goblin King dude that you killed.
Anybody main weapon a dagger?
I mean, if nobody else wants it, I could take it and then use it as a backup. But I don't know. Maybe it's better for the rogue.
Could be. I mean, I probably will use my offhand a little if I get into melee.
Probably
The
better
note,
for you
silver.
then.
All
the
right.
note made reference to lycanthropes.
Oh.
I do believe silver works against them particularly well.
Well, maybe I might
Should
use
we
this
invite Brick into the room?
in my main hand.
No, he's gonna stay out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should get Brick in here for sure.
And I am using the same variant rule on if with a spell book you can use the pages as one-time scrolls.
Nice. So, who's a spellcaster? Do we have a spellcaster?
I'm a half caster.
Well,
Has
then
anybody
that
looked
makes
at it
you.
yet?
We've all
I
looked
wouldn't.
at the book. We kind of got the general idea that it's a spell book, but has anyone flipped through it yet? No, I don't
I
think
fold
so.
really good, like paper airplanes.
So I will look through it to see if there's any divine type spells in there.
Okay. So you go ahead and browse through it, and as you're flipping through the spells, you get about halfway through the book, and you notice there's another like little note tucked in between the pages that isn't obvious. And this is what that note says.
I pull it out, open it up. These organisms, so perfect in their design, transcend these material realms, and with my perfect supplication I have so delicately pierced the veils between the worlds to render the ever-living whole and new. Even now it hungers in its primordial youth. Long live the new flesh. I'm just gonna stick it back in the book where it was.
I don't like the sound of that.
Seems a little creepy.
It has a good ring to it. Long live the new flesh.
Am I able to tell what any of these spells are?
You should be able to. Can you not open them?
Oh, sorry. Wow, okay.
There are quite a few of them that are cleric.
Who wants to take that potion of healing?
I think as a default, the unnamed should be carrying it because he's the most wounded right now.
Sounds good.
I mean, I don't think he should drink it yet because we're gonna hit die, but he could roll a 1. Anybody want chunks of dried meat?
Can we tell what kind of meat they are? Is it rat meat?
You can't really tell. This was the personal rations of that Goblin King dude that you killed, and he had next to him a pile of dried meat rations. So you're not really sure where the meat came from. It could be human, it could be rat, it could be anything really.
Yeah, it could be half of me or the other half of me.
I think this is an ear.
I mean,
Little
Blink's not picky. He'll
pigs
eat
here.
anything, but
Here
I
you
don't know.
go.
I don't know
Help
if I need
yourself.
more rations. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll take the meat.
And a cask of wine. Who's the drunk in the party? 18 pitchers of wine.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, you just kind of got to roll it around with you.
You can donate it to the Rampant Roach.
Well, I tell you what, is there a thing? Can we drink it while we're on a short rest? All of us have a glass of wine while we're sitting around.
You'd have to open it, and so it would then be it's not like you have a spigot or anything to pop open the cask. So you'd have difficulty reclosing it and resealing it once it's
Oh,
opened.
yeah. We're not taking it with us, are we?
Just drink it all here, right
Just
here now.
have a
In the
drink.
short rest.
We just had combat. Somebody's almost dead here. Have a wine. Have some wine.
You could drown that Gorling.
If we're gonna carry anything out of here, we should carry this freaking jar out of here. We got two of them. Two fragile glass jars. One of them's got a creature in it.
You've got one small glass jar. It's clear glass. You can see the hand inside banging against the wall. And then you've got one larger ceramic jar that's quite heavy.
We should totally take that hand jar with us and just lob it at people we don't like.
It's a great ranged weapon.
I think we should dispose of this foul beast.
I think we should smash it and just do the clockwork orange on the
Just
thing.
Yeah, all stand around it.
Just beat the crap out of it.
All right, we don't need to roll through combat. If you guys want to destroy it in its state, we'll just
Yeah,
say
we
you guys
we
go
like
ahead.
we like open the barrel, we put it down in the barrel, and then we all get around there with weapons ready, and then somebody just janks the lid off, and we just go.
Somebody stabs it, pierces it to the floor. Somebody else reaches down and pulls out his tongue stud.
His tooth. I think it's a.
Tooth-studded tongue. All right, you guys go ahead and kill the Gorling. Very good. All right, so you have a dead Gorling now in a broken jar, and then you have this one ceramic jar. Brick is encouraging you to head back to the rampant roach. He thinks they've got more than enough meat for what they would need. Of course, there's still plenty of areas here you have not explored.
In a jar. In a jar.
And are we taking a rest?
Yeah, we're trying to get a short
We're
rest.
gonna take a
too.
short rest?
Yeah.
All right. You guys have no trouble getting a short rest.
And the spell book, somebody's not taking it? We were lugging it at least.
I'll carry it.
Sounds good. Oh, I thought the unnamed was going to take it. No?
I think he was just looking through it.
So for those scrolls, since I can't add scrolls to my inventory, you want me just to add them as actions?
Yeah, you can create them as actions, and just they're one use out of the spell book.
Can you set your GM token on the party sheet now or something? Why is there a blank for the GM on the combat tab? Was it always there?
Because it's supposed to pull from your character, and GMs don't have a character, so it just pulled blank. He should fix that to pull the GM token, but
Where you can just drop one on there. That would be cool. Oh, nice. Whatever that roll was.
I accidentally clicked it. Sorry.
It's a death
save.
Dave,
Well-
you're two closer to dying.
2 down.
You did have 3 when we started, but it's dick pics.
Are you guys seeing the debug messages in chat? Like
No.
when
Nope.
the unnamed rolled his hit dice? All right, I need to bug Mad Nomad because his combat extension is now printing out debug information into the chat. Like for me, when you rolled the hit dice for the unnamed, it rolls the number and then right after it says string message damage MNM. It obviously something he turned on debugging and didn't remove it in the last update.
Is my hit die really a D1, or is that something tied to the weird? Because that'd be a bad hit die.
That's something that was didn't we talk about it, that it was screwed up? So
Yeah.
rather than rolling the hit die button, just roll a D10 because a ranger uses a D10. whoever did the class implementation put it in as 1D0 or 1D10 instead of 1D10. So it counted it as 1D1.
I have no idea what I did that in the tower, but it's a secret
Oh.
for you now.
It's 5.
So it would be 6. You get a +1.
Yeah, +1 would be 6. You can manually go ahead and adjust your hit points.
Quint is down 3. I think he will use a hit die too. So he's a D8. And I'm healed. How do you get rid of the hit die though?
What do you mean?
Mark it as used.
Should be automatic.
Well, if I used a D8 to roll it, how does it know?
No. For you, it should work fine. It was just his race or class implementation was screwed up. So for you, you should just be able to double click it as normal.
Well, let me give myself some wounds then and see. I stab myself in the leg. Yeah, okay.
You hurt yourself pretty bad.
No, that's the heal.
I know.
Man, you could have stabbed yourself some more.
I know, right? I could have slit my throat.
All right, so you guys go ahead and take a rest. Brick is going to come in here with you. He doesn't want to be alone out there in the cartways. What do you guys want to do?
What do you guys think? You want to go explore more, or you guys want to get out of here? Brick's
I
like
think
done.
we should get out of here.
What is there, like 2 doors?
2 doors to where?
That we haven't been in down this way, I think. I don't remember.
I thought this was a pretty vast connected.
Yeah, and then there's like a
area
door over here. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go. I think we should
There
go
are.
back up top.
Now, the way you guys
Yeah.
came in was up through here, and then over to the east, and then south, and then down another south passage.
I think our mission here is to protect Brick, and he wants to leave, so we go with him.
Yeah, it seems
All
like
right.
we'd be safer somewhere else.
Yeah, it doesn't just seem so safe for him down here.
All right, so you guys go ahead and take Brick with you. What are you doing with the big ceramic jar? Are you taking it or are you leaving it?
Well, I suppose somebody's just got to lug it like it's a freaking goldfish jar, like like
I mean,
carry like
I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, but the thing's almost as big as you too. You could like
I'm really strong.
put it on your shoulder. I mean, Quint's not terribly weak.
Bounce it on his head.
I'd like to try to take it.
Okay.
Maybe
go
we
ahead
just
and
all
carry it.
kind of take turns with it, you know. Pass
Hot
it
Does it have
potato.
handles?
We just toss it to each other.
No,
Does it have
not
any
probably
handles?
toss.
No, there's no handles. You have to kind of use 2 hands to haul it.
Can I rig something up? You know, as an artificer, rig up like a little a litter or something so we can carry.
Well,
it
we can
between-
definitely flip over a table and use the legs to secure it, and use some
You could
rope
do
and tie
that.
it to the table, and
You could certainly use a table to carry it as a litter, or as an artificer, you know how to use ropes to make little kind of a basket without having to actually weave anything. They have these little rope carrying things that you can do to make carrying jars easier.
yeah, we
can
tie a
certainly do
barrel
that.
to the back of the halfling and put it in the barrel, half of a barrel. like it.
All right. So we're going to start with Tarian.
Should have left it alone.
So go ahead and give me a roll. All right. So you carry it. You don't really have any major issues. Um, who's next on carrying it?
I'll go.
All right, Dick Pick. Actually, let me hit him.
Tyrion would like to assist Dick Pick when he when he carries it, but like subtly, so Dick Pick doesn't feel too bad about it.
Did that not get pushed to you?
It did. Sorry, there's two now.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, Dick Pick, you managed to haul it and hustle it and don't really seem to have any trouble. Who's third? We're going to have 3 total.
Probably Quint.
Quint. All right. And then we will have Quint. All right, Quint. Give me 1 second. As while you are hauling this thing, you have the unfortunate accident of tripping and dropping it.
I hold my breath. I think it's gonna stink.
It was Clyde all along.
I misty step away.
This is where we find out it was just his chamber pot.
It's funny. I was about to say that.
It's sealed up.
That's what I'm thinking it is too. All he had was burritos for a month. That's why it's sealed.
Rat burritos.
All right, give me just a second to get everything set up.
Oh boy.
And it was Quint carrying. So, Quint, as you are carrying this thing, you trip just a little bit and drop it, and this giant jar cracks. And kind of you see the bottom kind of crushes a little bit. And then you see this fluid start to ooze out. And it's this very thick, viscous gray fluid. And it starts oozing out, and then all of a sudden it rises up. And we are going to roll for initiative.
The map hasn't loaded for me.
Yeah, it's a question mark.
What? Try again. Let me unshare it and then reshare it.
It's all black, but you can see the grid.
Yeah, it looks like you can almost see the line of sight stuff too.
There's not a mask turned on, is there?
Shouldn't be.
No, because it's the whole map.
But then there's also like a big question mark, like for Brick's token. Here, let me screenshot it and share it.
Yeah, for brick there's a question mark, but the map itself is a question mark. Like the layer is missing. Like your
That's
link.
weird because you guys are all here. Can you see your own tokens?
Yeah, and then we can faintly see a grid, like a hallway that way and a hallway this way.
Yeah,
We
John, I
don't need
posted a
line of
screenshot
sight.
in the Discord if you want to check it out.
It's definitely the layer that's missing. The map layer. And
Yeah,
it's the link to that layer. You must have moved something when you...
No, I didn't. All right, we'll try a different map. The actual map is not important. We'll just do it without a map.
It's just some viscous crap right there, right? Is it in
Yeah,
the
it's
combat
just
tracker?
it is in the combat tracker as this viscous crap.
There it is, some gray ooze.
And I'm gonna. So we're still missing initiative from the unnamed, and I need to roll his.
He was one. He was waiting to go last. Oh, he still didn't go last, even with the 2.
Yeah, Grey Ooze has an initiative of -1.
Speedy.
All right, so Blink, you're the first to react. You see
He's
this
he's the one that
tendril.
caused me to trip. Come on, let's get it right.
Uh, yeah, probably. I was probably walking in front of him, and my pack is just full of random crap, and something fell off, and he tripped on it.
Yeah, a bunch of bolts or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I see this thing crack, and then is this thing obviously a hostile creature?
It hasn't attacked anybody yet, but this kind of maybe wrist level of thickness appendage is rising up from this pool of gray fluid that you see oozing out of the bottom of the jar, but it hasn't attacked anybody.
All right. Am I adjacent to it?
Sure, you're all
Okay.
in close range.
All right, that's fine. So I'm not going to back up because I don't know if this thing is going to attack me. But I want to ready a shocking grasp. So if it does anything hostile, then I'm going to hit it. Otherwise, I just want to study it and see what it is and what it's going to do. Blink's probably really interested in it, actually.
Okay. Brick is not going to go.
I'm going to disengage and back away from it, like 10 feet, not abandoning my people. I just don't want to be right next to it because it's gross.
Okay. This is kind of what it looks like. This grayish slime ooze there underground. Quint, you're right next to it. It's kind of right at your feet.
It kind of looks like kobold gravy.
Cobalt gravy. I don't like that part. It's got an eyeball or something down there.
Yeah, it looks like kobold gravy.
It's got an eyeball in it. Quint, I think is just gonna like, look what you did. You made me slip. And I think he's gonna pull out his short sword and see if he can like pin this thing to the ground or something. Because it's like coming out of the bottom, right? It's like he's gonna like.
Yep.
So let me see if I can stick it with my short sword. Here. Oh.
All right, you hit the thing.
Ah.
All right, well, you stab this thing, and you, as the blade enters in, you see what looks like little wisps of smoke coming from the metal. As you pull it out, your blade is there, and there's now pitting in the metal of your sword. And you can't really tell that you hurt it any because it's an ooze and it doesn't really have a solid form.
Right.
Um,
It doesn't
but
go.
it's thrashing around,
Oh, so
moving
it
around
did
in a little bit
feel it,
more.
baby. And so Quint is like, he yells out, "Acid!" And he like,
And Quint, for that weapon, now apply a permanent -1 penalty to damage rolls.
Ick. And I think I'm going to just pass my turn. I was gonna run away, but I don't want to provoke. I'm not second level yet. I want to make it to second level so I can run away.
So the unnamed is going to say a little prayer and a little light bathed Quint. So if you do get hit, you can then subtract 1d4 from the damage.
So I'm going to tell everybody, I think we should just get out of here and leave this ooze.
Let it loose in the city.
Yep, just disappear. But then I'm going to I think I'm going to use my hand axe and just try to chop off the appendage that's starting to come off. Just try to like chop it there.
All right. Are you trying to do the pinning edge or an attack?
Oh, I don't know. I like. Oh yeah, sorry. I was doing an attack. I don't know what I was doing.
All right. You swing and kind of slam into the ground, and you barely missed. But instead, your hand axe clangs off the ground.
Okay.
All right. So the gray ooze doesn't like being stabbed, and so it is going to go ahead and target Quint.
I go.
And this tendril swings up and looks like it's going to punch you in the face
Oh,
and hits you right in the face. So go ahead and roll the d4 to reduce the damage, so I know how much to reduce it by. It's a 2, so I'll apply a -2. And this appendage punches out at you, hits you in the face
holy shit!
for 14 damage.
It goes flying across the freaking room. Clang! Drop on
And
his shorts.
your face is just burning with acid, and in addition to the physical pummeling that you just took.
Does my ready to action go off?
Absolutely.
Is anybody else adjacent to it, or is it just me?
Well, you're all kind of wandering
Okay.
close to it, so you're all kind of melee range.
So I'll still get my blindsider then for
Mhm.
advantage on this.
I think the only way you can miss is if you roll a 1.
Nice.
It's an AC of 8.
Yep, it would take a 1.
All right, so you go ahead and shocking grasp this thing, and it zaps and twitches a little bit.
And
Unnamed.
Blink's shocking grasp isn't just like the spell. He has this like special glove that he wears, and so he reaches over to Dick Pick and he like rubs his fur to build up a charge, and then tries to shock it.
Awesome.
It looks
Gotta
like
build up
Michael
that static.
Jackson's glove, though. He's ha ha.
Now, is that a touch attack?
Oh, it is actually.
Permanent -1 to your hand.
It is a touch attack.
All right. What is your glove made of?
Oh man.
Adamantium.
Kevlar.
Yeah, right? No, it's probably
Live
it's
eels.
probably not even leather. It's probably like a glove that he literally found in the garbage and then was just like, "Oh, this is a fine glove. I don't know why somebody threw this away and put it on."
It's got 3 fingers.
Well, wait.
Yeah,
What
it's
was
probably
what was the
missing
jar
at
made
least
out
one
of? It's a ceramic glove. Come on.
It's a ceramic jar in the shape of a glove.
Obvious.
Yeah. All right. So as you touch it with the shocking grasp with your little glove, you do see the leather, the cloth of the glove, eat away. It doesn't do any damage to you, but you can tell that touching this thing is definitely bad for material. Unnamed.
All right, so he's going to thank Sif for the protection, even though it wasn't quite enough. And he's going to do the same for Blink.
All right. It's back around to me again already. Oh, because
Yep.
that was the reaction. It wasn't my turn. All right. So I don't want to touch this thing. Blink's smart enough to know that. So instead, he's just going to try to firebolt it. Even though he'll have disadvantage from being in melee range for the ranged attack, but he'll get advantage for blindsider, so they cancel each other out.
All right. All right. So your firebolt goes out and slams into it, and you notice that it doesn't seem to affect it terribly. It is singed a little bit, and there's this really foul stench that emanates from it when the fire hits it. But the fire doesn't really seem to do as much as you thought it might.
Don't kill it with fire.
All right, Quint, you succeed on your death save. You're at 1 success.
Cheater.
Why am I a cheater?
Because you're telling the other players that I succeeded.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right? They know. They should know. I should be
They should know.
as far as they know. Yeah,
You're
and I
lying
passed
there
my
with
turn.
your face melting.
Right? I'm turning into like I'm in and out of the shadow play a little bit because my shadow step ability is all screwed up unconscious.
Since I disengaged and took a few steps back, I'm going to try to hit it with my longbow.
Okay.
That should have been what I did. Somebody was going unconscious.
Oh wait, sorry, I didn't actually move my token.
No, it's fine. You shouldn't have had disadvantage, but you rolled an 11 anyway, 2 11s.
Okay.
So you hit. It was disadvantage because we're not using the map. All right. Sounds are loud.
And then I'm going to run over and try to scoop Quid's face back on. Like,
Put it back in.
it looks like I'm stacking a
Silly
bologna
buddy.
sandwich. It's not nice.
When you wake him up, he looks at himself, looking at himself because his face is laying there.
All right. So yeah, Quint's there. His face is all messed up. This ooze thing seems to shudder for a little bit as you shoot it, and then it settles down, and you notice your arrow is destroyed, so you won't be able to recover that one. All right. So you killed the gray ooze.
What was that thing?
Are we still in combat, or
No, we're out of combat.
I will go over to Quint and use Cure Wounds on him to try to bring him back, even though his face is on the floor.
Only most of it.
Well, you got most of it back on.
Yeah, shove it. And is there an artist in the party? You can make it look better.
Did you put my lips on upside down? Now I
was
whistle
close enough.
backwards? I whistle backwards now.
Put one eye in the back of your head to make you see better.
Have to suck instead of blow. So yeah, Quint gets up. He's like, what, what, What year is it?
Brick is horrified at what he just saw, as this large pile of acid is now just laying there in the middle of the street. And you notice some of the townspeople around are kind of looking at you and whispering, and you see some people pointing fingers at Brick and Blink and making comments. Um, and several of them are looking quite angry and, you know, murmuring things. You can't really make out what they're saying, but it doesn't look like they're particularly happy right now, and they seem to be paying a lot of attention to Brick and Blink in particular.
We should get back to the kobolds region.
Quint's gonna move over to the two Blink and Brick, and he's gonna say above, louder than enough so people can hear. He's gonna say, "Great job defending the town against that gray ooze. You should be heroes."
I would assume that Blink is kind of oblivious to what's going on around him, so he's like, you just dropped it. I mean, we had
I
to
try to
kill
cover
it."
his mouth up a little. Let's go this way. Just go along with it.
After a minute, Blink's like, "Oh yeah." Plays along.
I have to explain it to him. You see,
All right. So without any further ado, you guys do manage to get back to the Kobold Ghetto, and you're back to the Rampant Roach without the jar of gray ooze this time. Unfortunately, you weren't able to supply that for for food material. Uh, but everything else, Skirtle is super happy. He's a little shocked at the fact that his supplier of these odd things that he wanted, is dead. He's kind of shocked when you guys tell him about that. But you guys are able to go through the rest of the evening without any issues. So you guys are going to get a long rest. And with that, it's time to level up.
Sweet.
level up. Where's our level up music at, Slacker?
It's right
Oh,
there.
there it is. It's kind of quiet. I got to turn down too low.
Some of those others were really loud, so I turned it down too.
Level up. So
All
I'm going to
right.
take a level in Cobalt. Just so.
A level in Kobold?
Just want pack tactics. Level 2. We've got advanced effects too, so.
And Jeremiah, I think, now that I think about it, I think I can fix that whole hit die thing after we finish the game today, uh, by going into the XML and fixing it there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the weapon options are. I was looking for those. Hmm.
For the new weapons,
Yeah. Well, like longbow and shortbow, pinning shot and trick shot.
right? The new weapon abilities, the Midgard weapon
Yeah.
maneuvers, whatever they call them.
Oh.
Is anybody doing anything funky with their character, or just staying with the same class?
I'm using 2 different rogue sources just to screw my character sheet up.
Okay, that should be fun. Rogue level 1, rogue level 1.
No, from 2 different sources. It's from Xanthar. Just to screw my character sheet up.
While you guys are doing that, Brick explains to you that tomorrow he has a couple of deliveries just in and around the city, which should be relatively quick, and then work that he has to do there at the Rampant Roach. And then in the evening, he has another ingredient collection. This time it's out to collect some rotten pumpkins. But that
Which
has
is
to be
always
done
fun.
late at night.
Yeah, why do I feel like I'm guarding a drug dealer or something? I don't know. It's just like
Yeah, the fact that it has to be done late at night feels
right?
a little
Yeah.
shady.
I mean, not that my, you know, shadow elf minds being at night because that's when he likes it the most. But
He explains that the farmer who supplies it doesn't like them coming during the day, and so he arranges for night pickups because it's a dwarven farmer who doesn't like spending time out in the day.
yeah, we know the map is just drawn dark.
Well, there's that, and there's other things.
other things.
There's always other things.
I need to go shopping. Is there a general store?
Yes, there should be. For like, there should be in the shops. If you load up the shops module, there should be the standard player's handbook gear.
Shops is easy to find now.
It stands out.
Yeah.
Although, as I understand it, that that whole side panel with banner buttons is going to go away.
Yeah, it's just going to be a list of button or a named
Yep.
button all the way down.
It'll one single button image, and then it'll just
Well, they
be
better
the
let
list by
us
title.
reorganize them or they make them alphabetical, one or the other.
Oh, you can always reorganize them just by turning them on and off.
Well, they should be alphabetized button. Boop. They're all alphabetized.
Right.
I mean, come on. This is, anal retentive
But
nerds.
they want
It's
like
got to be alphabetized.
PCs up front because reasons.
No. No one can come up with a good reason. How much is a short sword? Can we negotiate? It's just like it's like
You
India.
can negotiate.
Like everything's negotiable.
No, not here. Not right now. They don't haggle too much.
Well, I suppose I need a new short sword.
Well, you could go into lower Zobek, and things would be a little bit cheaper there,
And then get
but they'd
mugged on my
also be
way out.
considerably lower quality.
And get mugged on my way out and then have to start over.
There's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go to this reputable place called Walmart right here. Short sword.
Your short sword is pretty badly pitted at this point.
Yeah, can I trade it in?
You can get 1/4 the value.
Oh, well, that helps.
So rather than selling it for half, you can get 1/4. Yeah, the gray oozes are nasty. They do a cumulative -1 every time a metallic weapon hits it.
Oh, it's cumulative? That's awful.
It's cumulative, and if it gets beyond -5, then it's destroyed. That's only for non-magical, of course.
All right, so I am going to buy a longbow and a short sword, a new one, brand new in the wrapper. Makes you appreciate your weapons more when you have to replace them because they get damaged.
Yeah. Not a lot of games I've been in where they damage your actual weapon.
Uh, there was second edition, I think. You had hardness and stuff on weapons that I mean, no one
Hmm.
ever used it, but you had it was in the rules.
The only time in 5e I can remember losing a weapon was with your fumble tables. You roll a 1 and you throw your weapon instead of
Wait, Blink was supposed to repair my longbow for me.
for half the cost.
Yeah. So that should be repaired now, right? We did that.
Uh, so let me just correct some gold on myself, make it easy. Oh, you can't. I can't adjust my own coins.
There should be the
Let's see.
the
Can I do it that way?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was the half back on the
And
sword.
yeah. I know it confused me when he made it so there's a different button for adding and removing. So I saw players trying to add minus values to remove. It just didn't work quite right.
All right. So I'm gonna put some stuff on the party sheet too that I want to get rid of. That's not really mine. I'm just lugging it. Yeah.
Okay.
The common wine's probably not in there, but this studded leather and correct crystal ball. I think that's it.
If you were
Oh,
wearing
and my.
metallic armor, it would also get a permanent -1 to AC.
That's nasty.
All right, and my short bow I can get 12 gold and 5 silver for it. Short bow sold. I'm upgraded. I got a longbow now.
So, Blink, when you get back with your new fancy longbow, Blink asks if he can see it for a moment and make some upgrades to it.
He's like, "Sure. I'm all
Uh,
about you fixing up this bow even more because you actually repaired it. He didn't. It wasn't new. You fixed one. So,
oh, that wasn't the shiny new ones thing that you got.
no, that's true. It wasn't.
Okay,
You
so then when he gives it back, he tells you,
wait. I want to roll an insight check to see if he actually fixed it. Just see if he's lying to me.
uh,
You just painted it.
yeah.
It's got a new string.
So it's probably got some like extra, like uh sights on it and other things that you're like, I'm never going to use any of this stuff. But it is now a +1 magic weapon, uh, and it ignores the loading property if that's important to you, and you do not need to use ammunition. It generates magic ammunition.
So what? Yes, please. What?
And you're just
There you go.
dumbfounded because you really thought he was just kind of,
Right?
gonna just fancy it up a little and not actually do anything to it.
I thought he was just gonna wax it.
And it's bedazzled.
Well, obviously. And he'll do the same thing to Tyrion's axe. So he'll take it and like he kind of etches some magic runes into the blade of it. So his axe will become a +1 magic axe as well.
How many of
And
those can you do?
I can do 2, and that's it. So.
Cool.
And Tyrion gives you a hug. He's so happy.
It works out because we're about the same size.
Very cool. So you get a magic bow and a magic axe. Very good. And while you guys are working on this, and you see Blink, he's spending most of the afternoon uh, inscribing these runes and working on the axe and whatnot. And just before he finishes, you hear something rattling around in the rafters up above you. And this little monkey jumps out and watches for a little second, jumping between rafters, and takes a huge, wet, drippy poop in his hands and spins around and flings it right as Blink is handing the axe over to Tyrion. And it splatters all over Tyrion and the brand new axe and just drips all down the handle.
Can I try to throw some of it back at him?
And
And that was Clyde, everybody.
Clyde, are you still in the hospital in Gorgio? I hope not. Go home.
That was thanks to Engorgio in the chat. Yeah, if you're in the hospital, get better soon, man. All right, so you're done with those items in the party sheet, Drake. Are those being sold or just deleted?
Half price. Well, the cask of wine we don't have, obviously.
Yeah,
Or
that's
you took
gone.
that out. You took that out already.
Yep. All right, it is sold and money distributed.
2 gold.
All right, so the next day comes out. Everybody ready to go? Actually, this would be a good time to take a break. We are
Yeah,
5 minutes
actually,
from
yeah.
9:30.
We're a little bit ahead. Let me get a timer going. Tick tock, tick tock. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. So let me set that for 21:34 on the East Coast. Of course, that's today. Tomorrow we don't know because of daylight savings time. You never know if that's tomorrow or what. But 10-minute break. We'll be back. And Gorgio's still in the hospital until Sunday. Ugh.
Oof.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put some pretzel on and go pee. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
So, Metacuri, did I hear correctly that as long as the target of your spell has
That one and that one. All right, we're back. We're back. Some of us are.
Hey, stream. Uh, so when we left off, the characters had just finished leveling up, and Blink has been hard at work making some magical weapons for the party, uh, which
Nice.
should be extremely valuable here in just a little bit. No spoilers. But while Blink was really busy, the rest of you had an opportunity to get out and spend some time out in Zobek. Brick is spending his time in the basement, prepping some of the food that you had recovered, combing the rats for fleas, for salad garnishes and stuff like that. So while he's been busy doing that, you guys have the opportunity to spend some time in town, purchasing things. As I know, Quint bought some new supplies and equipment, weapons that got damaged from stabbing the gray ooze. Um, Anything else you guys would like to be doing in and around town?
Quint wants to see if there are any mice in town.
Okay.
Very, secretively. I would think that they would have some kind of code system in place where they would leave something like at a certain location in a town, like under the front stoop of the temple, a
Mhm.
hidden note.
Give me a perception check in the dice tower, please.
Isn't that thieves' cant you're talking about?
No, Thieves' Cant is a language.
Kind of like sign language, in my opinion.
It's kind of a series of slang terms and other things that can give a hidden coded meaning. It's not like a language like English versus Spanish per se, but
Cockney
it's
rhyming
kind of a
slang.
all right. So you search around town, and you do not find any signs of the mice yet, other than the really big mouse that's following you around, named Dick Pick.
Might be a dead
Everywhere you
giveaway.
go, he's right behind me,
Maybe,
right
maybe
behind you.
he's a, maybe he's a mouse or a mice. If I call him a mice, he gets confused. Oh, I'm a mouse.
Rat. All right. Anyone else want to do anything while Quint is searching for mice?
Doesn't sound so entertaining.
I'm going to see about getting my stuff cleaned
Okay.
now that the
It's not hard
festival
to
is
do.
over.
Yeah, that's not hard to do. There's plenty of shops, especially down near the Collegium district, where the Arcane Collegium, the Magic University. So there's plenty of people who are studying cantrips and have like the mending and prestidigitation cantrips that can provide cleaning services and minor repairs. So that's no problem. Anyone else want to do anything?
Is there anywhere that sells the bag of holding? And can I see how much it costs?
You don't really know anywhere in town that sells magic items per se. They're not commonly sold in shops. So you don't know where a bag of holding would be sold. It's possible that some of the mages in the Arcanum Collegium would have them. They seem to be the most likely source, but they're not out for sale.
And I'll spend some time at the temple as well. I'll ask them as well if they know of anywhere I can get a bag of holding, and if they hear of one, let me know.
Okay. Which temple? The shrine to Sif that you created? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna hang out in a bar and just regale people with the stories of these heroes I travel with, and like super exaggerate everything and cast myself as just kind of an ancillary character, like a Watson.
All right. Okay. So you guys all kind of spend some time out and around town, and it comes. You've had your long rest. You've made your magical weapons, and on the next day, Brick explains to you that you have a couple of things to do during the day, and then another thing that you're going to do at night. For the daytime one, it's pretty simple. You have some meal deliveries that you're going to be doing. And so he starts leading you guys away, and he explains to you that the first place that you're going to go to is over in the gear district. And there's, he explains that there's lots of dwarves over there. He tries to explain to you that one of the dwarves we're going to go visit, and his name is Dulgurn. And Blink, you immediately recognize the name Dulgurn. Um, you spent some time with him as an apprentice in the same shop that he worked at. And while you were there, you introduced Dulgurn to kobold cuisine, and he developed a taste for it. And now he has a regular weekly order, Brick explains, of kobold cuisine from the Rampant Roach to his little workshop where he works. So as you guys go through the town, get over to the gear district, there's you can see lots of gear mechanisms going on, and there's people standing outside the workshop, and you notice a group of humans that are and some dwarves that are standing near the front of the workshop where Dulgurn is, and they're probably, they look like they may be apprentices or other workers who are there standing outside. And they look over at you, and you hear kind of subtly them making insults towards Brick and Blink, calling them yappy rat dogs and skivvies and kroners and worm shits and various insulting terms. Um, and as you approach the front door, one of them speaks up in a kind of a loud and gruff voice and says, "You little whipples, you go out back. The rest of you can go in the front. You two," and he's talking to Blink and Brick specifically. "You two can head in, enter into the back. There, go around in the alleyway. You don't need to go through the front door."
These are servants of mine.
"Well, your servants ain't welcome. Send them in the back."
I'm sure there's some kind of exception to the rule, and I jingle my coin purse.
He looks over at you. Uh, Give me a. You trying to persuade him or
Yeah, I'm not
intimidate
like.
him or?
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to. I'm not showing my sword or anything. So,
Okay,
yeah, I would
give me a
say a
persuasion
per,
check.
persuasion. Say
Okay. Well,
2 coins for 2
he
squats.
he looks over at the other guys. "Eh, I suppose we can let these two scaled rats in for a couple of coin. Hand them over."
How do I do that? Where's it at?
Just deduct 2 from your.
Oh, it's at the
So as
top
he
now. That's
walks,
why. It's at the
as
top.
he walks away, I'm going to cast Misstep on him. So and just have him basically just trip instead of moving 5 feet. Just have him trip, stumble a bit. If he fails his wisdom save.
Okay, I'm not going to even bother to roll it. He goes ahead and fails his wisdom save as he walks away with his newfound coin, and trips and falls right into a pile of looks like horse dung that hadn't been cleaned up yet. And he looks around wildly, got this angry look on his face, and he immediately eyeballs Blink and just stares daggers at him.
Is it because
Blink
he's
laughs.
laughing really loud?
Blink has kind of held back up until now, and he just laughs very very loudly, and then turns to go inside.
All right, the guy kind of gets up and starts cleaning himself off and grumbles as he's wandering away. Um, but you're all able to go on in. Brick has got the little bags of kobold food that they've prepped for the day, and you see Dulgurn in there. He's an older dwarf. You didn't work under him, but you were in kind of working together in the same shop where you were apprenticing.
I assume we had a cordial relationship.
Yeah, you actually had a pretty good relationship. You introduced him to a new uh, food that he has become. He's learned to love. So you had a great relationship.
Then I will greet him in Dwarven, and say, Dolgar, it's a long time since I've seen you.
Oh, yes, it's Blink. Huh? Welcome. And he gestures you in and immediately grab a seat, sit down, let's eat together. As Blink starts or Breck starts unloading the food from the bags that he's carrying. So, why are you delivering my food?
And I'll explain to him that we're not delivering the food, but he has probably noticed some of the unrest towards kobolds in the city recently, and so we're just watching this guy to make sure he's all right.
Ah, yes. People have been so stupid lately. Those dumb humans spreading stupid, ridiculous rumors. Um, as he goes on to explain it, he really doesn't know where it's coming from, but it's coming down as far as he can tell from the higher ups. It's not really emerging from the streets so much as the aristocracy type coming down from there. And it's very confusing to him because he loves kobolds and the food's great, and uh, you know he does tell you that he knows several of his colleagues have now let go their kobold apprentices, and have even gone as far as canceling their orders from kobold customers.
I'll mention to him the two guys out in front that we ran into and the trouble we had with them.
He laughs at it and says they absolutely deserved it. They have no right to say who can enter into his shop. You should go get your money back.
We
That
didn't want to hurt him.
they were just painted coins. I didn't tell the DM.
All right. So he explains that information. He doesn't really know a whole lot more, but he is really happy to see you, and tells you to stay safe out there. There seems to be a lot going around, um, and he hears a lot of negative things about kobolds over the last couple of weeks that he really just doesn't make any sense of.
Yeah, if you find out anything else, please let me know. You know where to find me.
Absolutely. Have you heard about all these crimes they're blaming on kobolds?
Uh, yeah, I know of at least one. Is this is there a rash of this going around?
Yeah, I think there's more than one. There, I'm aware of at least five over the last few weeks. There have been a number of these that they're putting the blame on kobolds. Kidnappings and some people being attacked and claiming that there was kobolds, but there was no evidence. I don't know what the watch is doing about it. They're investigating, I suppose, but they haven't really come out and made any kind of proclamations or statements about it. Um, but it's really a tense time. Kobolds are staying in the ghetto much more frequently now.
And we can all hear this, correct?
Yeah, you're all in there with them.
The issue is not that the kobolds may or may not be doing these crimes, but if it's not the kobolds, then the real person needs to be found.
He nods and agrees wholeheartedly.
Where were
Um,
you last night?
Don't ask.
So I'm going to look around the shop. And when they're done talking, and especially when most of the gross stuff is off the table, I will then
What's up,
pull out one
Caesar?
of the shurikens. I have these three-pointed throwing daggers here. Do you have any of your machines and gadgets that can help me sharpen it?
Sharpen. You'd be better off finding a good weaponsmith that would have the materials to properly sharpen them. Most of what I do is much more sensitive gear work. I'm trying to work on a new uh, type of mechanical bull to help pull heavy loads for long distances. They just debuted the new horses, which are amazing, but I wanted something that was bigger and heavier and stronger to pull extremely, quarry loads. So I'm working on the gearworks of those. I don't really have anything that sharpen per se, but I'm sure there's plenty of weapon weaponsmiths that you can find.
Blink becomes interested and like starts talking shop with him, like, oh, have you tried this technique? And they probably go back and forth, like talking about it for a little while.
All right, Quint, it's done.
We had in thank you. We
You're
had
welcome.
Engorgio already show up from his hospital bed.
He asked about how to implement
Bias,
the +1 on his longbow.
Clyde.
So if you edit the weapon properties, you'll notice there's now a 1 in the bonus field, and magic is added as a damage type so that it does magic damage. And that's all you need to do with that. All right, so he
I don't see it.
Brick is ready to, on your
Did you
the
just do
longbow
it?
+1 entry. Your longbow +1 entry. Click on the magnifying glass.
So you changed it in the actions tab. It doesn't change it in the inventory. That's kind of weird.
Well, the inventory is not tied to the actions tab. So what happens is when you add an item to your inventory, because the weapon itself didn't change, right? It's a magical enhancement that's being added. It's not a permanent thing. It could go away, I assume, at some point. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the edit is just in the actions tab in the weapons section, where you make the edit right there.
That was my problem. I was trying to do it in the inventory.
That'll do it. All right. Brick says they are ready to go to the second one, second delivery. And for this one, you're going to head over into Lower Zobek. And if you, where's my maps?
We got a random magical item purchased for Blink from
Alrighty.
from Caesar WML John in the chat.
All right. Well, Blink, go ahead and give me a roll on that table.
Nice.
69.
Very.
Oh, Kyogman's ointment. Nice.
Etom's ointment.
That
right.
is some nice stuff, especially at level 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add that to your character sheet.
Unless you just like spread it on Wonder Bread and eat it, that's when it's not so useful.
There you go. What does that
Thank
do?
you, sir. What does it do?
It's aloe. Oh, it's like a multi-use healing.
Yeah, poison, cure,
and poison and cure any disease
Yeah. It's like aloe.
all at once.
It's like aloe.
And you get
could-
1d4 plus 1 doses.
Does it cure
Yeah, I should roll
acid
for
burns?
how many doses it has, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
3.
2.
Should you use your
Oh, I
inspiration?
did have the +1. Should have used a
Awesome.
red fate chip. Should have used a fate chip.
All right. Thank you, Caesar, in the chat.
He
Yes,
came
thank you.
by. He's DMing. Go kill somebody. See you. Bye.
He's usually not the nice guy, so that's nice. He must be
Well,
feeling guilty for something he did to his party.
he did try to give us Clyde first.
Hey, that's what he came into. Everybody comes in to try to buy Clyde. That's the new thing. Is just to go around and buy Clyde.
So your next delivery, if you're taking a look at the map here, is in this section of Lower Zobek. And Lower Zobek down here, oh, I noticed they added shading to the interior of pointers. That's new this last update.
Only you
So
would
this area,
notice that. Like, it does look nice though.
yeah, it is nice. So Lower Zobek is an area that Dick Pick is quite familiar with. This is kind of a more rundown, poor section. It's really where the lower class of society in Zobek lives. People who are not well
Totally
off
cool.
financially. Totally cool. Yes. Um, it's kind of like the ghetto, except not the kobold ghetto. It's not quite as cramped and tight as that, but it is very much the where the more poor and downtrodden of society are uh, tend to live.
The ones that aren't kobolds, you mean?
Right, right. Kobolds have their own little special place in hell to
Which is
live in,
right. Which is right next door.
right next door. Yeah. And he explains that you guys are actually going to be visiting a halfling. He explains that the halfling that you're going to be visiting used to work for Skirtle. He was one of the assistants who would go and catch food, catch rats, catch other things as part of his jobs. And he was injured on the job many years ago. He's an older man now, but because of his injuries, he's been unable to continue his job with Skirtle. And as thanks for his years of service, Skirtle has been sending this halfling a bowl of spider soup every day. And so today you'll be delivering this bowl of spider soup. The halfling's name is Quinzen, and Brick kind of takes you through Lower Zobek and through some back alleyways until you find this really small, kind of ramshackled little hut. There's no map for this, but it's this really kind of almost run down kind of looking place. And there's a door there, but it's really tiny. Like Blink, you have no problem getting in. Tyrion, you have no problem. Even Dick Pick can get in without too much issues. The other two of you will have to squeeze if you're going to try and enter in.
While you guys
I'll
deliver.
wait outside unless we're entering. It's a building, right? It's not like an alleyway.
You're in an alleyway. There's an entrance to a small, like in modern terms, it's about the size of a dumpster, and there's a doorway on one side, kind of a hole that you can crawl through, and it's got some boards uh, providing a little bit of covering to the
Yeah.
opening.
So unnamed will wait. He has no desire to go in there anyway.
While you deliver the arachnid gazpacho, I will stay out with the unnamed. Stay in the shadows over here. So he'll move over and hide in the shadows and
All
walk
right.
stealthily both directions if he can.
Okay. The rest of you, I assume, go ahead and enter. And so you enter in, and there's this halfling, this older halfling. He's sitting there, and you notice he's laying down on kind of a pallet on the floor, and he sits up a little bit, but you notice his legs don't seem to be moving terribly well. He's obviously badly injured. Um, and he greets you, and he immediately turns to Tyrion and says, "Who are you? You are. I've never seen you before."
I'm Tyrion, the barbarian. I'm new in town.
It's
And he
wonderful to see
gives them a
another.
huge cheesy grin.
It's wonderful to see another halfling. I don't see too many of us here anymore.
Marbania
Are
just
you
raided with a party of 5. What, you guys are done already?
nice?
10 o'clock? What are you, a bunch of slackers over
You're
there?
early.
What the hell? What's up, guys?
And yeah, he's kind of really taken with you and starts trying to talk to you about your background and what brought you here to Zobek, and
16
what are you
months.
doing here,
Nice.
and are you going to be around here for a while?
I don't really want to be too open with my past, with exactly where I'm from and everything. It's just that I joined up with this party.
Okay. He does notice your tattoos and comments on them frequently. Wants to know the stories. He even looks at dick pics and notices the matching tattoos on the ears and whatnot. Wants to know their story. He seems like he's starved for information, for anything to because he doesn't really leave his home.
Oh yeah, we tell them all the stories of our battles and show off our matching tattoos.
All right. Um, Brick doesn't have anything else. Once he, is there anything else you want to ask him about? He's extremely grateful for your spider soup. It's one of the main things that's keeping him alive is this daily fresh soup that he gets. Otherwise, he basically spends all his days here.
So does he? He probably doesn't have any information about what's going on in the city.
No, he really doesn't. He doesn't even. He's not even aware that there's any issues with kobolds. And in fact, thinking back on it, as you were walking through the city streets here down in Lower Zobek, you really didn't experience the kind of targeting towards Brick or Blink that you saw elsewhere in the Gear District or some of the other wealthier districts. Um, People just didn't seem to care down here.
Ain't got no time for none of that down here in that lower quarter.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Especially at the Rag Pickers Guild. I mean,
Yeah,
they're busy picking rags. That's number
that's
41,
exactly
by
right.
the way, the Rag Pickers Guild.
Oh, on the map. What is that? The Rag Pickers Guild? I don't think I've looked at that one.
I think it's a guild that picks rags.
There's not a link for it. I think they're a guild that picks up used rags and then washes them and then returns them.
The Rag Pickers. They pick them out of the river.
Diaper laundry service.
Yeah. They just rinse them in the river.
You can get rag rugs there, probably.
All right. So the halfling doesn't have anything more for you. What is going on? Sorry, I'm trying to look at this map and it's not behaving. So the halfling doesn't have any more for you, any information wise, and you're able to get back to the rampant roach without any major any further issues. Um, Brick explains to you that the next thing that they need to do is in the evening. So we have a few hours to wait until evening. Um, and he explains that you're going to go out to a nearby farm and you're going to collect some rotten pumpkins. These aren't just regular rotten pumpkins. These are ones that have been infected by this special type of beetle that glows. And that's why it has to be at night, because the pumpkins that are infected have this slight glow to them so that you can pick them out. So he explains that you're going to go there at night and pick them out, and then those beetles, they'll harvest them and use them in their restaurant.
Are we
But
legally obtaining these pumpkins?
absolutely, absolutely. We have a long-standing deal with the farmer. He's absolutely aware that we're going to be picking up these because we're only taking the ones that are bad, the ones that he can't sell. So he's totally cool with it.
Marbania's asking about dick pics, so.
He,
Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check. Oh, we lost Robin from the table.
She'll be back.
Weird.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody else can do the check for me.
Sure. Anybody else want to do the insight? The dice tower?
I don't think I have the ability to outside in the alleyway to do any kind of insight check currently.
Oh, this is afterward. You're back at the Rampant Roach
Oh,
as
well-
Blink's explaining the evening activities. All right. Dick Pick, you totally believe him. He's absolutely telling the truth as far as you can tell. The unnamed and Blink, you think maybe he's not quite 100% honest about having permission from the farmer, but you don't sense anything nefarious necessarily. You get the sense that the farmer may not know that the rotten pumpkins are being targeted.
Fair enough. It's yeah. Blink doesn't care too much.
All right.
So our
So
mission is to steal pumpkins in the middle of the night.
Yes,
Rotten pumpkins.
glowing pumpkins, rotten glowing pumpkins.
Do we get a
So-
wagon or something?
He has these wicker baskets that you can carry them in.
A wicker basket. How big are these pumpkins?
30, 40 pounds.
Jesus. Can we get a donkey?
It's a big ass pumpkin.
He says there's bound to be one at the farm that we can borrow.
Borrow.
There's a farm though. That's where. How far out of town is this farm?
I believe him, guys.
It's actually right across the chain bridge. So if you or the water gate. So if you take a look at the map again, and you go from the Kobold Ghetto and you head south, there is a water gate. And this is a kind of a ramshackle bridge that the kobolds have put together. It's not the normal way in or out, and it kind of comes and goes depending on when the city guard decides to try and shut it down. But it's strung together with ropes and boards and other things to get across the River Argent.
It sounds like a skill challenge to me.
Actually, it's not. Coming back across it might be. Going across the first time is not. But evening comes by. You guys all get your gear ready to go. You get your big wicker baskets so you can haul these pumpkins back in. And you start heading out towards the farm. It's getting very late. It's dark. And you notice as you get near the farm, Brick is excitedly leading the way. And he gets, a little ahead of you guys as he's rushing to try and get over to the farm. He seems really excited for some reason. You notice that there's an odd smell in the air. And
Smells like rotten pumpkins. I'm just guessing.
We have a kobold and a rat folk with us. Aren't we always surrounded by odd smells in the air?
No, those are distinct smells.
Yeah, it's not
They're-
odd.
It's not odd. It's very distinct.
And let me go ahead and add you all.
Odd is like tar popcorn smell. That's an odd smell.
I think I'm the only one that bathes regularly in this party.
I don't have to bathe. I just step into the shadows and lose all my funk.
It's not how that works.
All right. Now, as you get there, your head seems a bit lightheaded. And
Nice.
everything seems kind of weavy and things don't seem particularly stable. And you're not sure why. The ground doesn't seem to be moving, but every time you move, you get this dizzy sensation and it just feels weird.
I think someone put some special K in our water.
Brick starts pointing over to that pumpkin field and says, "That's where we need to go." That waving is way more pronounced than it was when I was developing the map.
Oh, maybe you can turn it down? I don't know.
I have them all down to 0.
Oh,
It's
I have
funny,
all.
Matt's a lot more than mine. Mine's very subtle, and his is really.
Oh yeah. It has to do with the size of the that you have it. The window. If you stretch the window bigger, it'll be worse.
Oh, if you zoom in, it's worse.
oh
The more
yeah.
you zoom in, the worse it is. Oh, weird. I didn't even notice that.
All right, when I
That's a
throw up, we're gonna have to pause the stream and just say, no, I'm kidding.
If it gets too bad, I'll turn it off. But
Where did this map come from? This is kind of nice map.
gee, I wonder.
I wonder.
Some guy named Drake sent it to me.
It's cool.
This was our Halloween throwback. So as you come on in, Brick immediately starts running towards the pumpkin patch. He wants to go in and start collecting the pumpkins. What do the rest of you want to do?
I want to see what this farmer's doing, if he's sleeping, or what time of night is it?
It's probably about 11 o'clock at night. It's
All right,
pretty late.
while they're getting the pumpkins, I'm gonna go in and murder the farmer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, the farmer's home is here.
Just-
All right, so
and
I'm gonna come around this
looks
way,
like a barn.
sneakily, and check
Are you
through
wearing
the
your
barn
kobold
first.
feet?
Yes, I have them, and I lift up my shirt. They're hanging like in my shirt. See?
All right.
So the
Hold
unnamed going to
on.
use this fence to sort of as a handrail, slowly walk over, start looking.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and lock tokens right now because Tarian, when you get to that area,
Yeah, I was just wandering up.
It's a wanderer.
as you get to that area, where is the button?
Ooh. Is it goopy out here too?
It's a little wet. As you get out here, you hear from the pumpkin patch, kind of in the middle of the pumpkin patch, this loud screech.
The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah. My son just watched Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin just this afternoon. And you see in the pumpkin patch, there's this little patch of plants, this kind of a top leaves poking out of the ground is shimmying and shaking and almost like it's climbing up out of the dirt. And coming up out of the dirt, you see this very tiny thing that looks like that.
It's a
And
yam.
there's this little plant that kind of climbs up out of the dirt and it's screaming at the top of its lungs. You don't know how something this small can make a noise this loud, but it is screeching. So, did I not push? Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
Does anybody else hear that?
Yeah, so much for our stealth attack or work on the pumpkin patch.
All right, so
And what size is this? Is this a tiny thing or a small thing? Medium?
tiny. It's I mean literally it's like, the size of a large yam climbing up out of the ground with a little face on it screaming. All right. Brick, he freaks out. He was heading over to there, but he starts running back behind where Quint is. He's gonna run back behind with Quint.
I'm like, shh, I'm sneaking. All right, so Quint is going to move to the corner of the building so he can peek around that way. I guess. I don't know. With this map, it's kind of hard to... Where do I need to be to see? There. Okay. So, can
Okay,
I
that's good.
see out there that thing? Yeah, I can see it. I can
Yeah.
target it. I'm going to try to shut it up with this arrow in my freaking short bow right here. I like
Okay.
squint in my ears. And I'm going to try to hit it with my action tab and my longbow. Twang. Oh, I hit. Only lightly damaging it. Wow. How come I didn't...
All right. It's a
Do I
tiny
get
little
sneak?
thing, but he's a tough little yam.
Should I have gotten sneak attack?
You didn't have advantage. Is there a reason you would have had sneak attack?
Yeah, there's pumpkins. They're my allies.
You the Pumpkin King?
Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna finish my move and kind of get behind this crate.
Okay.
I think I'm behind it. It just keeps moving. I don't know.
All right. It's hard for me to tell because the map is moving so much. Do I have a clear shot at this guy?
If you can
This
see it, you probably do.
Yeah, you can. The fence and stuff is in the way, and that'll block movement, but it's open enough that you can like shoot through it.
All right, great. I don't want to move then because I want to take a extra second to line up my shot with that patient shot ability.
Okay.
George Critical bought you a disadvantage.
Thanks, George. So I'll have disadvantage and advantage on this attack.
That means you got it even. Even Steven.
All right. He
did
shot twice. The first one hit. The second one hit Quint.
What the hell
I
are you
must have
doing?
I still
After
had
you
him
healed him.
targeted from when I healed him.
I got him all pinned
Right
to the
through the
crate.
building and
Sorry about
everything.
He's like pinned to the crate. He's got a misty step to get out.
It's pretty funny.
That was a very fancy shot. Went right through the building.
Ooh. How does a yam have so many hit points? I don't get it. So,
The Greater Mandrake. All right, unnamed.
All right, so I'm going to take a deep breath, try to
Yes,
fight this
sir,
vertigo,
it's-
and step over toward.
yeah, it's Unity.
Okay, step toward and say, "Come, little friend." I'm going to touch the ranger. Let the fleetness of Sith guide you. So you have plus 10 feet speed for 6 rounds, and you have the bless for dexterity-based attacks and saves.
Cool.
So
Thank you.
I think that's coded right. Obviously, it can't just be only dex, but if you use any kind of strength or other dex, you may have to take it off. But since all your attacks are dex-based, we should be good.
Yeah, it's Unity, George. It's,
And then I'm going to step back over and hold on to the fence again and move up just a little bit to there.
a special
Okay.
effect you can turn on one of the maps that makes it all wavy and cloudy. It's kind of cool. You can only see
All right. I'm going to say thank you. And oh my gosh.
my character's perspective.
I'm going to wait till the fence moves back into a position I can move towards it. There we go. Now I'm going to try to get on top of the fence, if that makes sense, so that I can shoot from the fence post. Is
Sure.
that big enough? Okay.
Yeah, you can fit up there.
Then I'm going to try to shoot at this mandrake.
All right.
Well, it looks like you can't miss unless you fumble.
It's pretty hard to miss. Very good shot. You pierce this thing, and it's like right through its tiny little leg. It's a little yam leg as it's trying to pull out.
Shut up, you little bastard.
It's got this giant arrow.
You can tell your
All right.
son we're making him some hash browns out of mandrake.
Yeah. Some yam hash browns.
So I'll
Sweet
move up
tater.
to him.
All right.
All I see is the mandrake. It's so weird. You know, Unity versus Classic.
Right. Line of sight.
Yeah.
And I'll try to chop him into pieces with my battle axe. He's overkill for the size, but
All right. You swing and slash at him. Good solid hit. He's hurt. He's definitely hurt.
alright, then I'm gonna just try to kind of put my hands over my ears while not dropping my battle axe.
Okay. All right. So this thing is now fully climbed out of the ground. And he screeches again as loud as he can. And everyone within 60 feet
Ooh. Am I close? I was actually behind the crate, so how close am I? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
you're 50 feet away.
55. Well, I'm technically behind the crate, but 55
Right.
still in.
You're
Still in it.
close. Still in it. So as he screeches out, you feel this wave of force from the power of the screech hit you, and we'll see who is affected.
I use my advantage if I fail, or regardless.
Sure. If you fail, you can go ahead and you mean your inspiration?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
And-
you
oh, I made it.
succeeded. It looks like.
That's right. I'll still mark it off though.
Can I steal his idea?
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
you can use your inspiration.
I had my hands covering my ears so well.
I
I'm
hide
just
behind
gonna
the
take
crate.
it.
All right. So who is using their inspiration? I have to roll it against you because it so it triggers. So dick pic. You
Ooh.
make it, and Tarian was doing it, using your inspiration.
Yeah.
All right. So you all succeed, and
Ooh.
dang it! It re-rolled the saving throw. I hit the wrong button. So who all failed? Shoot.
Only
I did.
Blink.
Blink. Okay. So Blink failed, and you take 10 thunder damage. And what did you fail with? What was your fail?
Rolled a 12.
It knocks his dentures
Okay.
out.
You are not knocked unconscious by it.
Oh, that's good.
What do you got to fail 5 or more or something? Become knocked out. Damn.
It's 5 or more to be stunned. 10 or more, you fall unconscious.
Damn.
It's pretty nasty. And then
Yeah.
it reaches over and attempts to bite Tarian with his little tiny yam teeth.
Aww.
Oh shit.
And he hits you right on your ankle
You get yam. You get
and kind
yammed.
of gnaws into your ankle for 7 points of damage.
You get
Pretty
sweet
hard bite.
potato souffled.
This thing is horrifying.
Now Now, this isn't what uh, Brick was considering as a rotten pumpkin, right? This is
This was not the rotten pumpkin he was expecting. No.
All right. Well, I'm pretty angry now. After I got bit, I'm probably going to get enraged.
Okay. Stupid little mandrake root.
Little bastard, and I'm gonna hack at him with my axe.
All right. You
Yeah, and
slash
I
down at this
can't
thing.
hit it too.
You detop it. You cut all the leaves off the top of the the root. All right. Dick pic. What do you do?
Do I see any other threats? I mean,
Give me a perception check. All right. You hear something coming from the barn. The door appears to be rattling.
the unnamed you might want to step away from or towards the door. Depends on if you want to fight more. And I'm gonna try to get over there so I can draw a bead on it while it's opened, or if it opens. And I'm gonna shoot at anything hostile that appears out of that door as a reaction.
Okay. Blink, you are not aware since he didn't call it out.
All right. So, I guess, do I see anything then?
Not from where you're at. It's not really visible from
Alright.
where you're at.
Well, he's just gonna follow everybody else then, towards the pumpkin patch.
I did shout it, but we're all deaf now, so it doesn't matter.
what?
What did you say?
So I'll move into like there.
Okay.
And then I'm worried about another one of these things digging its way up. So I'm gonna ready a shot with my crossbow in case I see anything hostile.
Okay. There's a couple of readied actions to go. And the door near the unnamed is ripped open from the inside. And you see what looks like a dirty, bedraggled humanoid, quite wrinkled actually, humanoid, come crawling out. And so the two of you with readied actions will go ahead and make your attacks as it comes running straight towards Blink.
Ah, it's a regular human. Shoot it.
Immediately.
And this does not look like a regular human. It's oh, you're insulting humans. Got it. All right, as this thing comes rushing out, screaming, "Food! Finally, food!" And it was actually speaking. It falls dead at Blink's feet.
Was that the farmer?
God, it's after our food.
Perhaps the farmer was just malnourished.
Quint?
Well, Quint's gonna. I mean, he hears the commotion over there, but he's gonna move over to the house. Is there a window on this side of the house?
Sure.
So he's gonna move up like stealthily and like look in the window. Is there a light on?
No, there's no lights inside.
And the front door is probably here.
Yes.
All right, so he's just gonna move around the corner and come up to the front door and listen in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception. There you go. I put my ear up to the door.
All right. Your ear's still ringing from that screech, and you really can't hear anything coming from behind the door.
And I look over if they. I'm sure they probably can't see me very well. Is there a light source or anything around?
Didn't you guys cast light on Tarian's axe? Was that?
I used the artificer version of it, which only does bright light in a 5 foot radius, and then dim light another 5 feet. So it's only like 10 feet of light.
Okay. So there's a very small light right around Tarian,
Does that
but no
stay
light
on
where you are.
forever?
Yeah,
until I turn it off. Yeah.
How much did
Cool.
I move? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to finish my move across the front of the porch to look around the back side of the house.
Okay. You do not see anybody back there. And another one of these things comes running out, and this one's frowning for some reason. You don't really know. And he stops at the first humanoid that he sees and yells out again in common. He yells out, "Food!" as he attempts to bite the unnamed, or swipe some claws at the unnamed. And swings, but he managed to dodge out of the way. And it's your turn.
All right, so I'm going to lash out at this thing.
Like with your
He's
tongue?
attacked me with his fist, so I'm just going to just attack with my Narian hook.
Yeah, this thing has no weapons. It's barely clothed. It looks rather emaciated, rather skinny, like it hasn't fed well.
All right, so flip it around, holding the hook, stabbing it with the sharp, pointy end.
It's your turn again.
All right, I'm going to try to do it one more time.
A do-over.
All right, so stab into it again. It still keeps moving.
Yep.
Sort of stepping back, waiting.
Oh, it's clawing and slashing at you. Blink.
All right. I'm gonna line up another shot against this thing. So I'll use patient shot again. Line this up.
All right. As you shoot this thing, you kind of hit it right through the cheek as it's trying to bite on the unnamed. And so he's got this arrow stuck through one side of his cheek and out through the other. And it falls to the ground and appears slightly more dead than it was a minute ago.
I'm worried that there might be more of them, so I'm gonna move around behind Tarian.
Okay.
Uh,
Quint?
so Quint moves around. He peeks around the corner. So he's kind of just kind of hop on the fence and on the crate here, and then kind of drop down onto the ground. trying to be kind of stealthy and get a better look at the front of this barn. Looking inside.
Okay.
60-foot
Uh,
dark vision.
you see on into the barn, and there's the doors are kind of swung open a little bit, and you can't see anything other than the normal like farm equipment in there. Little carts and some tools up by the wall, but you do not see anything moving from there.
All right, so he's just going to ready a longbow shot at one of these things if it comes out. It looks like it's going to move hostilely towards somebody.
Okay.
And I'll pass my turn. I'll grab the ready though.
Okay, I'm glad that everybody else is getting to feel what it's like to have something try to eat you. And I think I'm going to ready another attack to attack any hostile thing that gets next to one of my party members, so I can have my pack tactics.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna move. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm
I
gonna
think I
move.
accidentally hit it twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up here to kind of look in the barn and see if there's anything else in here.
Okay. You go up into the barn, and your light only extends 10 feet. Was it bright light?
Yeah.
So you can see a little bit of the ways into the barn, but the entire length of your light source, you don't see anything moving. There's nothing, no humanoids or anything like that.
I might move in then a couple more so I can see how many did I move. So moving a little more so I can see a little further.
Okay.
And then I'll just ready an action in case something comes at me.
All right. Go ahead and ready in action. And on this turn, give me 1 second. From the pile of the body of those ghouls, those beggar ghouls that you saw running out, you see this skull rising up into the air. And it looks like this. As the hood of an old cloak slips from it and drops to the floor, this baleful greenish light pours forth from its hollow sockets. Its jaws open wide, and in a raspy voice, it starts uttering words in a strange tongue that I don't think any of you speak.
Chicken scratch. I understand it. It means run.
I make eye contact with Tyrion. This is going to be a sweet ass tattoo. This is going to be the best tattoo.
Oh yeah, flaming skull. If it doesn't kill us first.
And where's this thing at?
And so, oh, is it not visible?
Oh.
So it's right there, and it's this greenish glowing light is emanating out at least 20 feet bright light and then 20 more feet dim light. And it just rises up and speaks, but that's all it does.
So, it speaks, but it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this thing is gonna do. I want to back up 30 feet. And then I want to cast Cure Wounds on myself because I was going to do that earlier and never did.
Okay.
Like pumpkins go rolling all over the place as he goes running past.
These pumpkins are so big, though. He's probably hiding behind one.
Yeah.
There's more of those little shrieky guys hiding underneath them.
Well, it didn't actually move and attack anything, but it's a skull that's floating. I'm shooting it. I don't care. I'm shooting the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think we need to wait for
I
it to
mean,
attack.
yeah. I mean, my ready to action was specific that if it moved, but now it's my turn. I'm shooting it. Yeah, I'm hitting it. I was gonna wait till it was next to somebody, but and then I'm
Okay.
gonna like drop down behind this wagon and like
All
duck.
right. So
I'm
you'll have cover
preparing
there.
to I'm preparing to use my cunning. I'm practicing it. Oh, I do have cunning action. I use a bonus action to hide. Nice.
There you go. Give me a stealth check.
Skills stealth. Ooh, that's pretty high too.
Okay. You can give yourself the hidden condition.
Cool. And I pass my turn.
So I reach into my pouch, pull out a little flask. I'm going to throw holy water on it.
Holy water.
So would a 19 hit it?
Yes.
All right, so it takes 2d6 radiant damage.
Okay. Is that not coded?
No, I don't. I couldn't find it in the effects,
All
and
right.
I just thought of it at the top of the round, so I didn't have time to
No
code
problem.
it myself. All right, 7.
So you splash the thing with holy water, and the light slowly fades out of his eyes as it drifts back down to the ground and settles back onto the corpse where it rose from. And we are out of combat.
Da, 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 da.
Where's my...
Yeah, this is a cool map. I like it. Oh, I see you
Yeah.
used red grid too, or orangey grid.
Yes. Played with the grid color and added a few little tweaks to the map itself. All
Very
right.
cool. Do we see any glowing pumpkins?
Yeah, you're going to spend some time in the pumpkin patches. Dick pic, from where you're at, you notice there are some barefooted tracks right beneath you heading towards the barn.
Can I tell where they came from?
Can you not see them on the map?
No,
Why not?
because you didn't show the layer to us.
Dang it.
There it is.
I don't know
Ah,
why that defaulted to. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you see what looks like a pathway of barefooted tracks leading into the barn.
can I tell the species?
Humanoid, human. I mean, they kind of look like human feet footprints.
Okay.
In fact, they look very similar to the ghouls that you just killed.
I think I know where the ghouls came from, guys, and I'm just gonna like directly follow them.
And I'm going to study the skull for a couple moments. See
Okay.
if there's any kind of etchings or runes or.
Quinn wants to go talk to the nameless. Where's he at? He's gonna go. He's like,
I want to go with Dick Pick because I'm worried about him being off on his own with all this dangerous stuff.
Okay.
He's very fast for the next few moments.
Can't catch me.
I'm like talking a mile a minute about the tattoo design and how we'll fit it on like the little bit of ear space I have left.
All
The
right.
whole other side.
So let's go ahead and the unnamed, Quint, and Blink. You're all kind of up in that area. What are you doing? You were looking at the skull, unnamed, and as far as you can tell, give me an investigation check actually, and then followed by a religion check. All right. As far as you can tell, it looks just like an ordinary skull, which is odd because it's a clean skull. There's not skin, you know, still attached to it. But when it was on the ghoul, it of course it still had skin over its over the bone. But it appears the skull have floated out of the ghoul's head and is completely clean. But other than that, you can't see any. There's nothing glowing. It's empty inside. It's it looks like a perfectly clean skull.
And checking the ghoul body, it's not a second skull. It was actually the ghoul's skull.
Yes, it was actually the ghoul's skull. There's now just kind of a fleshy sac at its neck that has a split.
Oh, it blinks a kobold. I wouldn't really go that far.
Quint is like reaches down to the other ghoul that still doesn't. It's not a pile of skin. And the flesh is cold, right? Like it's dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is absolutely cold and dead.
And is there a skull in its head?
Yeah, this one seems to be like a perfectly ordinary
Yeah,
ghoul.
I'm gonna stab the skull.
Okay.
Just in case. Like, skip.
I'm gonna
Is
stab
there
this
any?
dead person in the skull, and we're all like, that makes sense.
And then let's go look inside the barn.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Is Blink
See what
wants to
these
go and
things were
check
doing
out
in the barn. What were they doing in the barn?
All right. You go on into the barn, and it looks like there were the two of them in here. The barn is empty of general. There's no other ghouls in the barn, but you do notice that there are far more tracks inside the barn, as if there were more things in here at one time, and there were only two when you arrived. All right, so Dick Pick and Tarian, as you follow the footprints down, you see them lead towards what looks like a large bush there. And it's pretty easy to see now, but it looks like the bush had been overgrowing some kind of hole in the ground. And when you get close and take a closer look at it, you can see that part of the bushes and stuff have been broken, and there is a passageway beneath the bushes.
Hey John, that whatever it is, that bush probably is not showing up for us.
It's a question mark.
That thing, yeah, that's a question mark for us.
But we'll just
Doesn't
assume
load.
it's a bush.
Well, it's a bush on my end. I don't know why. That's really strange that some things are not being sent over. Anyway, so there is a. Do you see the stairs beneath it?
No. Is that a portal?
There is a portal in that spot, but that should be a token, not on the map layer.
I would suspect that the portal token is showing up as the question mark for us. I don't know what that means, but that's what I suspect.
Well, I'm going to say to Dick Pick, let's go get the others before we go down this.
Yes, it'll look cooler if they see us do the cool stuff. I'll
I'm
spit
just
down
gonna
the
sort
hole.
of call out. I don't know where he is, so I'm just gonna call out for Brick.
Oh yeah, him.
He's back here taking a poop. Here, we can move it. Oh no, you can't. We can't move other tokens.
I don't know that.
Where did you want Brick to go?
That's good. With us.
I was just making sure he's alive still.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise, we can leave.
he was hiding behind the
We're
barn.
done if he's not.
So we check out the barn. So it looks like these things were contained in the barn and then let loose, or
Yes.
they were coming and going.
Well, it looks
Like
like
there's
there
not
were
like
more of them in the barn at one point,
yeah, but they don't look
and
like
like
they've had like
maybe they were
little.
being stored there.
They're not like little nests or anything. They're just like
No, no,
milling
not
about, like
nests. Yeah,
wandering around in
and
here.
Dick Pick, with your kind of knowledge of tracking and whatnot, you'd estimate that there may have been as many as 10 or 20 at one point here in the barn. But there's only two. There's only the two there currently.
And is it
I'll
like
share that with them.
the door is like securable from the outside with like a bar and stuff like that?
Yeah, and obviously it wasn't secured super well because they were able to break out, but it was closed with kind of like a latch. But it's not super sturdy door. It was
Well, I'm gonna drag the body's sacks back inside, like stash them
okay.
over here in the corner.
All
And
right.
bar the door just in case.
Just kind of muddle up the tracks a little, and then move
Got
over
ripped off.
to the farmer's. See if he's home.
Yeah, that's
All
what I was
right.
thinking.
Think he's
Okay.
got some. I think he's got some questions to be answered.
All right. So you, Tarian, you go ahead and open the door. Go on in to look for the farmer. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. When you open the door, it reeks of death. And as you look inside there, you see very quickly that there is an older dwarven farmer, and it looks like a female, are on on the floor, torn in pieces with bites, like huge chunks of flesh bitten out of their bodies. They've obviously been partially consumed by something.
Probably the guys we just met. I'm gonna investigate around and just see if there's any, I don't know, any clues to what went on here, other than them obviously being eaten.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody give me an
Perhaps.
investigation check.
Cool.
Now we'll say a prayer over the bodies. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one.
How long do you suppose they've been dead?
So taking a look at the bodies, they look like they've been dead maybe 2 days, maybe 3. They're starting to stink, but they're not totally, totally gone yet. But there is a significant portion of them that is missing, that was obviously bitten off.
Can you tell if they were killed by these creatures or just eaten on by them?
Can I do a medicine?
Yeah, you can do a medicine check. Give me 1 second. I'm answering a question from Dick Pick.
It's my little full-size Doberman. DJ.
All right, so you did a medicine check, and from what you can tell, the unnamed, you seem to have a pretty good good feel for this. They look like they were eaten alive, and they died while being eaten.
Yes, they succumbed to the attacks of these ghouls.
Okay.
Where did these things come from?
Oh, I'll chime in that we found it.
These were definitely not ghoul friends.
So were you asking another question? No? Okay.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about my dog. So they weren't. They were killed by the creatures. Yes.
They appear to
Is
have
what he
been
said.
eaten while they were alive.
So there could be more of these around.
Well, do we just grab the pumpkins and get out of here, or do we try to see if we can find if there's any more of them and take them out?
I think we should at least search the area. Maybe the farm. Make sure. Don't want one of
What,
these getting loose in town.
what would I know about ghouls? Would I know if there's any threat of them coming back as ghouls after a certain amount of time?
These you give me a Arcana check. You are not super familiar with the principles of necromancy. Blink, however, knows a little bit more than you do. And these look like the lowest, most base common form of ghoul that there is. They are the emaciated ones. They're the ones who have not been able to feed properly, and you do not feel that there's any chance that they'll come back to life.
So should we destroy their skulls just in case?
I think we're probably okay, but it can't hurt.
It can't hurt.
I will dig the holes if someone will perform the deed. Or someone else can dig the hole and I'll take care of the deed.
Yeah, nobody wants to do manual labor. Sorry.
I'll do it. I'll dig the hole.
I will also help. I assume there's a shovel.
It's a farm. I'm sure there's a shovel somewhere. And Quint will put like cloths over their heads and stuff, and then run their skulls through with a short sword.
Okay. It's not hard to do. There's plenty of holes.
And then we'll take the time and see if we can get a short rest. Maybe? Do we need a short rest?
Yeah, and I understood the skull earlier. I was just too excited about everything to tell you guys, and I forgot to add that language. So, what it said was Lichmark and Marrowblight plot against Nicophorus. Nicophorus? Nikiphorus. I don't know. My accent's real bad. I just learned the language.
Nicophorus.
Nicophorus, yeah, thank you.
Do we have any knowledge of any of those names?
Quint certainly knows one of those names.
I do.
You certainly do. Nicophorus is the emperor of the Ghoulish Imperium, who helped overthrow Cracovia. It
I
was Emperor Nicephorus who assisted the vampires in overthrowing Cracovia.
the Lichmark.
That was the only reason they could win.
The Lichmark and Morrowblight plot, I don't know, but Nicephorus is royalty of the undead army. And the Emperor. I explained.
Well, these two plotting against him seems like a good thing then, right?
Well, evil plotting against evil. It's been that way since the dawn of time.
And for clarification, Quint, you would also be aware that the Ghoulish Imperium is not the same government as Morgau, which is the vampires and undead there. They are two separate government structures. Morgau is all above ground, and the Ghoulish Imperium is below ground. And in the invasion of Cracovia, they came up and assisted the vampires in overthrowing Cracovia. And it's because of their assistance that they were able to do that. Otherwise, they would not have been successful.
Yes, the evils are all in league, plotting and making pacts, breaking them, just being evil. Did you say you found something out at the end of the property, Dick Pig?
Yeah, there's a hole, and I think it's where all the ghouls came out of. Like 20 ghouls, lots of ghouls. So there's plants growing out of it, a weird bush, looked like a question mark.
Well,
There
perhaps
is a bed calling me. Let's go.
we should
And
take a
look
quick
at this.
break and then explore the hole. And
Yeah, I would take a short rest.
Take a quick 2-week break and
Spelunk.
come back and explore the hole.
Sounds good.
because it's that time.
All right.
So can
thanks.
you push the short rest?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 1 second.
All right, stream. We are going to call it. So next session for this will be in 2 weeks, which is sometime in the future. What is that? November 13th. And but next Friday I will be streaming my homebrew Jungles of Cholt, 8 p.m. Central. But tomorrow over on Rob's channel, I'll be DMing Icewind Dale Call from the Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, not Call from the Deep. Call from the Deep is on Tuesday, and we're getting deep in Call from the Deep. They're like in Mind Flyer Wonderland or something. I don't know. They're like
great.
on the edge of should we go to the astral sea? You know, oh, that's a weird one going on right there. And then back here on Friday is the homebrew Jungles of the Chilled. So we're gonna close it off there. And is there anybody we want to go raid? No, I think
Happy
Rob's
Halloween,
probably
everyone. Stay
ended.
safe.
Yeah, have a good
Appreciate
Halloween,
your hard work,
everybody.
Maticuri. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
you.
you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Take
Hope
care.
it was sufficiently Halloweeny enough.
It was very
Yeah.
thematic.
That
Yeah,
worked.
it's great.
All right, see you guys.